It makes sense that the more you and I, as leaders, prioritise well-being for ourselves, the greater the impact we're likely to have on people around us. But that's now evidenced through research. There's no arguing with it. Hello, you're listening to Well Intel Daily. I'm Annie Hood. This is the podcast that joins the dots on wellbeing perspective and everyday relevance. There's a lot of pressure on business leaders right now to be all things to all people. And the team at Be Well, Lead Well have recently published their research findings that ask the question of wellbeing industry leaders themselves. Are we thriving personally, and are we advancing well-being through how we lead? Their findings tell us that higher levels of leader well-being links to higher leadership impact. In other words, the more seriously you and I take well-being for ourselves, the more likely it is that those we lead or work with will be inspired and influenced to do the same. We naturally share insight into our lives. It might be how we begin our mornings or how we wind down at the end of the day. It could be encouraging walking meetings or sharing how we're feeling with a word of the day or techniques for managing stress. But all of it circles back to values, professional and personally combined. And that means leading by example. And in turn, that isn't something that you and I can pretend. Several research reports tell us that leadership has a more significant impact on people at work than any other factor. Gallup research suggests that that's a whopping 70% of an employee's work experience that's due to their leader. I'll include a link to the research in the episode notes so that you can dive in a little further. But the biggest thing here, and what matters most, is not the things you consciously pass on. It's the natural osmosis of your commitment to being your best self. It doesn't need to be spoken. It's 100% felt. And it acts like an inspirational magnet for people around you. Tomorrow, it's the big picture to grassroots. I'm going to broaden your perspective on why well-being matters and in what sort of forms it takes. Please share, subscribe and review, and of course, be well.